QCY T13 were a standout hit. They combine fantastic build quality with good controls, an app that has continued to improve over the years, and solid sound for the most part. But in the past, people were amazed that we had truly wireless headphones at a really competitive price point, and truly wireless headphones were the new feature, the new hotness that brands were trying to sell us. And now it seems like the next kind of semi-questionable feature that brands want to use to sell us on headphones is active noise canceling. That's not to say that the QCY T13 with ANC are bad headphones, but they're definitely B-tier headphones, and you can check out more headphones and where they're ranked over on my website. Now, as always, we're going to have timestamps where you guys can go ahead and skip around to different parts of this video. We're gonna hit you guys first with the specs. We got Bluetooth 5.3 with the SBC and AAC audio codec. We have 5 to 7 hours of playback, depending upon whether or not you're using ANC, and the charging case can recharge the earbuds fully 3.5 times. That means if you are using ANC, let's say you get 5.5 hours headphones, you're looking at about 20 hours with the case. They're IPX5 waterproof for the earbuds, and they have a 68 milliseconds low latency mode, along with the excellent QCY app. Stats out of the way, let's talk about the build and construction. I find that the case of the T13 ANC to feel very, very appropriate for its price range, which means that it doesn't feel premium, but it also doesn't feel like it's just going to fall apart and break on you. The case has one indicator light, a USB-C charging port, and a button where you can repair the headphones if they become unpaired. Overall, the case uses a matte plastic which resists fingerprints, and I think at the price point, the case is fine. That said, I would definitely suggest that you get one of the silicone cases that I have linked in the description down below, because I could see this case breaking very, very easily if dropped. Now, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the design of the headphones. The headphones feature a very, very similar design to that of the QCY HT05, which is kind of this same design that we've seen recycled from Hailu, QCY, and even Pamu. If you guys don't know, Xiaomi owns QCY as well as Hailu. They're all part of that conglomerate, which is why in some markets, Hailu and QCY headphones have integration into Xiao AI. That's why we see a lot of the same shapes being reused from headphone to headphone. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It has a stem with a directional microphone, and we have a relief cutout so you don't get the stethoscopic effect that makes it feel like your ears are plugged up when you're listening to music. Overall, I think that most people are going to find the overall shape and design of the headphones to be pretty nice. They're pretty lightweight and they do a good job of sitting in your ear, even if you're sweaty in the gym. On the subject of mics, let's go ahead and give you guys a mic test right now. Currently, you guys hear me on the QCY T13 ANC in a quiet environment, not much in the way of background noise. Comment with how I sound. So now you guys are hearing me on the QCY T13 ANC with some simulated background noise like a coffee shop. And I think that these headphones do an okay job when you have consistent background noise, meaning you don't have much variation. But if you are outside on a busier street where the noise profile is constantly changing, it does get a little bit worse. But at this price point, comment with how you feel. And as always, let's give you guys a latency test. And if there's a gaming mode available, I'll go ahead and activate that gaming mode in this latency test. 7 Pro owner. Last month we had 50 some odd bug fixes that were brought out as part of the featured bugs were brought to older generations of the Pixel. So whatever Google is doing with updates. I know I sound like a broken record, but the latency of these headphones is totally adequate for watching YouTube videos and even some non-first person shooter games. For those of you still playing PUBG, why haven't you moved on to Call of Duty? And if you're playing Call of Duty, you're still gonna want wired headphones because wired headphones are still kind of the gold standard when it comes to gaming and latency. Now let's talk about the user experience of these headphones, and I think it's worth noting a couple of things. First, while these headphones might be considered new and upgrade version to the classic T13, I don't think they're worth necessarily getting over the T13 because the active noise canceling of these headphones just isn't good enough that I can recommend them as a pair of headphones to get for your first pair of active noise canceling headphones. The ANC is pretty weak. Second, even though these headphones have an app that allows you to tweak the EQ and settings, I think it's worth remembering that these headphones are coming in at a really competitive price point, and you can't expect them to perform that well with all genres of music. That's not to say that their sound is disappointing, but it definitely sounds like a budget pair of headphones. Third, these headphones don't really stick out to me as something that is much better than something like the Soundpeats Mini Pro or even QCY's own HT05. And depending upon where in the world you live, you might be able to get something from QCY PAMU that has better ANC for 10 or 15 more dollars, especially as brands like Soundpeats introduce LDAC models and discount their older aptX models. Now, with all of that out of the way, these headphones sounded fine for all the music that I was listening to in the gym. They don't have that big of a soundstage, and while the bass is adequate, it feels very one-dimensional, and they don't seem to have that same kind of atmosphere or even that same kind of thud that I've come to expect from headphones like my Pixel Buds Pro, which are a little bit more expensive, but I think that they should be considered some of the best headphones that you could get for Android because of their integration to Android. And I even don't think that the sound quality of these is that much different than the QCY HT05, and I think that you should probably just get the HT05 because the HT05 sound quite good. And if you have a little bit more money, I did a first impressions of the FET Hi-Fi Air 2 with ANC, and those have dual drivers, but they are a little more expensive. Now, if you're getting these headphones because they are the cheapest active noise canceling headphones that you can find, I would skip them because the active noise canceling isn't as strong as you would hope. And I would argue to say that you could probably get headphones with better passive noise canceling that might sound better and just add something like some foam ear tips to block out more ambient noise with a similar result. I don't want to sound like I'm down or pretty negative on the QCY T13 ANC. I just don't think that they're a standout the same way the QCY T13 original were. And with all of these other headphones in the QCY lineup, QCY really seems like they're competing with themselves at like the $5 and $10 price point increments, and my computer just turned off. But it seems like they're really competing with themselves at these low, smaller price increments, and it makes it kind of confusing and difficult. Overall, I would have to rate these headphones as B tier headphones. And if you guys want to see more headphones that I would rate as B tier, A tier, or even S tier, I have a full list for that over on my website, and you can check it out in the description down below, along with links where you could buy these. If you guys like the video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. It really goes a long way to helping me out with the algorithm gods. If you love the content here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you want to see me compare them to the HT05, go ahead and comment that in the description down below. Here is questionably QCY app. Now, on paper, these stats, just like moving on to build construction, I find that the case is matte plastic as the QCY HT05, and they resist